A police officer showed up at my workplace and said, "Your wife submitted an emergency restraining order against you this morning." What did I do? The cop simply gave me the documents and left. The lunchroom went completely quiet. Everyone turned around and looked at me like I was some kind of criminal. I went directly to the courthouse, and that's when I spotted her sitting in the waiting area with marks all over her face and arms. She was crying on her mother's shoulder, and the moment she glanced up and noticed me, she yelled, "Keep him away from me," loud enough for the whole place to hear. But something didn't add up. The marks on her arms were too even, too uniform, like they were put there deliberately. The judge approved the order regardless. I never laid a hand on her. I couldn't return to my own home, so I crashed at my brother's apartment that night. The following morning, my supervisor called. "I'm sorry, but we need to put you on leave while we look into this. Your wife contacted HR and claimed you're a threat." I lost my office access, my email, all of it. Then my phone wouldn't stop buzzing with messages from people asking if I was alright, because my wife had been spreading rumors I sent her to the hospital. My own mom called me in tears. How could you do this to her? I reached my breaking point, so I got an attorney. He explained the only way to access her bank statements was to start divorce proceedings. So that's what I went ahead and did. Once we obtained them, the whole picture shifted. There were payments at a motel 45 minutes out on the same night she said I hurt her. The payment was at 11 p.m., but I was in bed by 10 that night, completely by myself. She wasn't even there. He continued searching and discovered more motel payments stretching back months, all with another person staying with her side guy, some dude named Marcus. Meals for two, in-room dining, multi-day trips. She was seeing him while I believed everything was normal. My attorney issued a subpoena for Marcus to appear at the restraining order hearing and made it clear that lying on the stand would make him guilty of helping with perjury. The days before the hearing, I could hardly rest. When it finally arrived, I entered and spotted my wife in the corridor, surrounded by supporters embracing her and saying how courageous she was. She noticed me and right away started weeping harder, covering her face with her palms while everyone stared daggers at me. But the instant they turned away, she lowered her hands and her expression went totally blank, like a music light switched off. Then she entered the courtroom and stated to the judge. He seized me from behind and slammed me against the wall. I fled without shoes to my vehicle because I feared he would injure me more severely from behind, yet her marks were on the front side of her arms. I glanced at my attorney and he gave me a slight nod. Her mother was seated in the gallery, looking down at her lap, avoiding eye contact with everyone. When they wrapped up, my wife stared directly at me and silently said, "You lose." Then my attorney rose. He displays her injury music photographs. "You claimed he seized you from behind, so can you clarify why these marks are on the front side of your arms?" The grin vanishes from her face. He turned me around. My attorney shows the motel bill. "Then why did you register at a motel 45 minutes out at 11 p.m. that very night?" Her fingers tighten on the armrest. I went there afterward to get away. My attorney produces another document. "This booking was made 3 days prior to that night. Were you intending to get away before he ever made contact with you?" She stays silent. Her attorney covers his face with his hands. My attorney summons Marcus to testify. He enters with his eyes down, and I see a wedding band on his hand. "Were you with her that evening?" Marcus just remains motionless. My attorney moves closer. "I'll remind you that lying under oath has major consequences." Music. Marcus finally murmurs, "Yes, the entire night and the marks." Marcus begins trembling. She made them herself that morning. She bashed her face on the doorframe and struck her arms on the countertop while I was watching. She claimed it was the only method to get the house. My wife jumps from her chair. "You were meant to stay quiet." 2 guards restrain her arms as her mother gets up crying and exits without a backward glance. The judge throws out the order and sends my wife up on perjury charges. She's still yelling as they escort her out. "I sacrificed everything for you and you destroyed it. I recovered my life. I retained the house." Marcus's wife witnessed the whole thing and started divorce proceedings. Now they're both on their own. Every sub helps our community grow.